Hello, everybody. This is Howard, the Teaserking, giving to you with week 16 of the NFL. Another huge week last week. Four locks, all four won, including, and then I had the Navy under with New England. That was a strong play, and I lost one small play, which was San Diego with the Frisco over, which I got with the last play of the game. But San Diego, for the few times, did not show up and got blown out. And it was mostly the turnovers. They fumbled, and it was like 4 or 5 turnovers against Minnesota, which did them in. But that was a very small play. Just San Diego's a good dog, and many on the roads, not many at home. So this week, what we have is a bunch of teams who need the games. So let's walk through that. Um, Frisco, all these NFC teams that are 11-3, all can be 1 and 2 seed and have the first round bye. So they all got to play and they all got to win. So that's San Francisco, that's New Orleans, that's Seattle, and that's Green Bay, plus Minnesota, who's one back. But if they beat Green Bay, they win their last two, they could theoretically get a bye, depending what happens on the others. Um, the Rams have a very small hope of getting in. If I think the only way is if Minnesota loses their last two, the Rams win their last two. The Rams, it would both be 10-6, would get in, but I don't see Minnesota losing their last two. They do have a tough game with Green Bay, but next week they have an easy game that they should win. So basically, you have that. In the AFC. You've got the Buffalo-New England game. Winner, I don't know if Buffalo wins, gets the division because New England won the first one, but they'd be able to get it with New England lost in Week 16, which I don't think that's going to happen because New England has Miami and they're favored by 14. So I don't see that. Minnesota has Minnesota's got the Bears at home. I don't see Minnesota losing that game. So that there's several things happening now. How hard do the weaker teams try? That's a good question. Yeah, they want to play well and they want to compete, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's so many injuries in these league right now. I go through, like, the Jets have 15, 20 guys on injured list, or hurting and IR and everything. A lot of teams have that. Let's finish that up. So the Rams could make it. AFC, Buffalo, New England, Houston, and Tennessee basically are there. Houston has the edge. Then you have Pittsburgh has an outside chance. And Baltimore has the 1 seed, and then Kansas City. So I think the wild card is between between Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Cleveland could, I guess, get in at 8-8, but I don't see both Tennessee and Pitt losing out. And again, so you've got to. But you've got to play them as if it's a normal week. So if the line gets too high, it's not a play. It's a play, and that's the one team's going to play. And fortunately, I don't see anything where the line's crazy. Excuse me, I'm trying to get over. I have a sinus infection. It's just really beat me up. Makes it hard to cough and talk and everything. So I don't see any line that's crazy. So let's give you a game here. Let's go to the Buffalo New England game. Oh, and first I wanted to comment. Looking at the Dallas Philly game, it looks like Dak Prescott's going to play, at least according to what he just said. I just read. I'll be playing on Sunday. And I didn't see the injury, and I don't know which shoulder it is, if it's throwing or non-throwing. But when I initially made my pick, I looked at it like there's no way this guy's missing this game. I mean, he has to play in this game unless he's got a broken leg and he can't walk on it. This guy's playing on it. So I just don't see how he won't play. Now, Cooper Rush is the backup from Central Michigan's very good player. So I'm not really worried with all the Eagle injuries. I'm not that worried about if Cooper Rush has to come in and play to back up Dak Prescott. I'm fine with that, with the way the backups come in. So I'm not really concerned. I think actually the Dallas game, I think, will be lower scoring just because I think Dallas will look to pound, especially if his shoulder's bothering him. They'll look to pound if they can run on Philly, and I don't know if they can, but if they can, I would think Dallas will run more, control the clock, and play the good defense. And Philly's got no receivers, which is going to lead to an under game because they'll have to run or throw short passes to Zach Ertz. So for Dallas to be an under game, I would love Dallas as a dog. Dallas is the play versus Philly in the series. All right, let's go to Buffalo, New England. Well, this is just a typical New England at home. Beautiful in a teaser. You lay a half a point or nothing. This is money time. New England at home is not going to lose to Buffalo. Losing to Baltimore at home. KC, I understood, and Baltimore, okay. But Buffalo does not have the dynamic of either of those teams. KC's great quarterback. Baltimore, I'm still getting a grip on this quarterback with all his running. But Josh Allen doesn't scare me. He's very a weak thrower. He's okay, yeah, he made a good throw against Pittsburgh. But is he Joe Montana? And what I mean by that is there's 2 minutes left and Buffalo needs to march the field to score. Is he going to do it? No. He wants to run the ball. He wants to go back in the pocket and run for 10 yards. These new quarterbacks don't understand. They need to throw the ball to the receivers. It's not to run for 10 because what happens is it's the same thing. You get into the red zone. You get to the 25-yard line. There's nowhere to run. Now you have to throw the ball. And once in a while you can sneak in, but now teams are going more to zone, and especially in the red zone. You get about the 15-yard line. They're going to play zone on you. You're not going to run it in, and then there's not that much area to guard. So good luck trying to complete the pass. So Joe Montana, he's not. And I like Buffalo. I mean, I hit him against Pitt, locked him, W. Had him against Dallas, didn't lock him, but they won. So I mean, I played them and I like them. They'll probably keep the game competitive. I don't think New England runs away with it by 20 points or anything. But I think at the end of the day, I think New England wins by 10. I think they get enough offense from Tom Brady, who's been there, done that. What's the receiver? I want to say Amendola, but one of those guys. He's injured, but he'll play. The running back, White, will catch. Sony Michel will run. And I just think it'll be a tight defensive game. I would go under with it, but they're now making the under so low, you almost can. I mean, they made this over under 37. So the line I got 6.5, 37, 37.5. It's very hard to go under 43. I mean, that's 20. New England's good for 20-some points. Really don't like it's like betting the overs in college when they're in the 70s. It's very hard to do that. The key with over-unders is you got to get the right number. Had this number been 43, like Dallas over-under is 46. That's a great under. 52. Okay, that's a lot of points from teams with that need to run the ball, or it's not an aerial circus in this game. But in New England, Buffalo, Brady will score enough. Allen will get a little bit. New England will be in the 20s. It's a big game. Buffalo probably in the teens. So that's, it's almost like go over 31, but I can't go over in an under game, although it's very close to. But that's not really the side. The side to go on here is New England. So let's take a look at New England. First in the season series, New England and Buffalo. Since 2012 in New England, New England's 5-1. The favorite's 5-1. In the series, New England is 11-2 overall. 10-2 is the favorite, and Buffalo is 6-6 as the dog. So what you have here is New England at home. Loves it. Let's go back to 2008. Not enough. We'll go back to 2014. Well, that's not enough either. That's just 4 or 5 years. So everybody's 3-1. But in the last 8, so New England's 7-1 as the favorite in the series. 8-1 overall. So basically, and you always got to wonder about that dump game when they play at the end of the year and the team's clinched and it doesn't mean anything. So I'm trying to maybe not include that, even though it'll skew up the stats. So we're like, wait a minute, it's 10, but I got 9. Because the 10th game, when they're resting their players, I don't want to keep that in there. All right, so let's look at the other. New England, home favorite since 2017, 21-4. Overall, 39-13, 75%. Buffalo, very good road dog, 15-5. But of those, how many were big playoff games? Let's go to 18. New England, 14-1, the last 15. This year and last year. Buffalo 10-3 is a road dog, decent, not wonderful. This year, Buffalo 5-0 is a road dog, 12-2 overall. So with Josh Allen, they're getting better. Although they've been an underdog 7 times. Against 2-3. New England 5-1 is the home favorite. I don't think they covered. I think the Baltimore game. 5-1 against, so they've been playing close games at home, but winning them against Buffalo. So in the series, New England owns Buffalo in New England. New England is a championship team. Let's look at the numbers. New England scores 27 a game, goes up 13. Very strong, an A team, good offense, good defense. I know the offense is a little banged up, but still. The defense, they'll run the ball more to keep the defense. Buffalo scores only 21 a game with the great Josh Allen and gives up 16. So they're an under team. They have a good defense, but they don't score a lot. So New England should outscore them based on this, but New England has a better defense, only giving up 13, and Buffalo gives up 60. So New England's got a better defense, better offense. That's really what you're looking for. And let's go into the quarterbacks. Buffalo, Josh Allen, 14 games, 59%, 200 yards a game, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. New England is, where's Tommy Brady? New England. Oh, this is crazy. Where is he? Here it is. 60%, 254 a game, 21 touchdowns, 7 picks. So he gets 21, but Josh Allen he has 18, but he has 9 picks. Brady's 7. So Brady's got more touchdowns and less picks, and that's Josh Allen's problem. Josh Allen's real problem is when you put pressure on him, he folds. I watched it in college. That's what my draft video says. As soon as you blitz the guy, he freaks out and they sack him. So he runs when everybody's downfield and he finds a gap and he runs away and he gets his 10, 15 yards and it's like whippy. That's not why you're the quarterback. The quarterback's supposed to throw the ball. AKA Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. How often do they run? And that's why I'm opposed to Lamar Jackson again. It's like playing Navy in college football when you play Lamar Jackson because you can't practice Navy because your offense can't do what they can do as fast and as good as they can do it. So therefore you have that problem. And then with so that's nobody's used to it, but I heard one announcer say it's the Oklahoma offense, and it's not. It's the 49er offense when they had Kaepernick. It's Kaepernick's offense. Basically, you're running a read option. Kaepernick was a little better thrower of the ball, but basically, this is the San Francisco Kaepernick offense. And guess who they lost the Super Bowl to? Baltimore. So, is it effective? Yes, because it's new. If they play New England in the playoffs again, I would expect a much different outcome than the first time. They'll figure it out. Anyway, not to get off topic. So, New England has that class. They have the rings. They're at home. It's a must-win game, and Buffalo is not ready for this. There's no way Buffalo is in a big game gonna win it at New England. Now, at Cincinnati, yes. At the Jets, yes. They could beat a bad team here, Washington, but not at New England. They are not going to win this game. It's not going to happen. It's like the old Packers or the old Steelers or the Montanas. You don't go into their house and beat them. It just doesn't happen. Maybe if there's a lot of injuries, but New England's got some. But Brady's there. The defense is there. They're not really beaten up too badly. The loss of Gronk hurts, and then, like I said, Amendola or whoever the quick right, Edelman, whatever. He's banged up, but he's played every week. He'll be playing. They're champions. They know how to win this game. Take New England minus the half. Take Prescott. If Prescott says he's playing, so Dallas would be a nice play with that. Just to give you that. I do have a lock going. I might have two locks going. I had one lock. I changed it, and now I might add it based on news. Also, I'm wondering how to play Baltimore. So if New England wins, you got to play Baltimore because now the 1 seed's up, and Baltimore has to win. They're going to play. If New England loses, I think Baltimore's the 1 seed. Please check that. I thought that's what happened. I don't know that KC can win them both and Baltimore lose them both, and they would both be 12-4 that they would get. They might get the bye, but I think Baltimore probably has the 1 seed, but if not, if Baltimore needs the game, they'll get it against Cleveland. They own Cleveland. But if New England wins, then I'm going to come back big on Baltimore. New England loses, I'm not sure if Baltimore plays. That I'd have to wait and find out Sunday. I don't see any lines out of sort as far as, I'm not going to play them with that. On the Niners, check the injuries. Richard Sherman, hamstring. They got like 3 or 4 cornerbacks with hamstrings and injuries, and I'm sure they'll play because this is a must-win game for Frisco. They have to win this game, as like Seattle. No matter what happens, Frisco plays Saturday, Seattle has to win. Even if Frisco loses, Seattle wins because they play the last week, and if they're tied, winner's in. And so therefore, if Frisco loses and then Seattle were to win, then maybe they get it. If they lose, I got to know the scenarios yet. But no matter what, Seattle's playing. No matter what, Kansas City's playing. And then you got all the NFC. The Green Bay mini games is a playoff game. The Dallas Phillies a playoff game. Like I said, Dallas owns them, and Prescott seems to be playing. So you take Dallas that one. Too many injuries on the wide receivers for Philadelphia for them to generate enough points. Just don't see it. I did see a Philadelphia even line. If you can get that, take the Cowboys in the 6. Now Pitt and the Jets, I'm a little worried about. I like Buffalo against Pitt, and the main reason is there's no Roethlisberger. You had this third-string quarterback. Therefore, with the third-string quarterback, they're not going to blow out a team because they can barely score. Here's where I watch and be careful with Pitt against the Jets, because Pitt's not strong enough really to go into New York and blow them out. So when you got a 3-point favorite, you take 9, They got to beat them by 14. Well, Pitt doesn't have the firepower anymore. You know, they're going to run Connor or Benny Snell, but they're not going to beat the Jets 20-0. They don't have that type of team. And the Jets, as bad as they are, you know, in this type of game, they'll play pretty well. So that would be one game I would be afraid of. Pitt needs the game, but I don't trust them. And Houston, Tampa is another one that I don't really trust Houston laying the 3 to Tampa. Tampa's been scoring. Tampa's got a lot of injuries to their wide receivers. Keep an eye on that. See how many are out. Right now I see 2 plus Mike Evans is 3. But I watched the game last week. They had 8 wide receivers. And the way they're throwing, they're going to score a lot of points. And that's going to give Houston some problems. So again, be careful with Houston laying 3 at Tampa. Those are games you kind of, you know, be careful with. I'm not even, you know, the other games, the non-playoff games are hard. You just don't know what you're getting. And then there's so many injuries, you don't know who's staying out. So anyway, those are my picks. So take New England even. That's the play. That's the key play. You probably want to put them in multiple teasers. And then looks like Prescott's playing. You play Dallas. Right now the spread's nice. I see a lot of 1.5s. So you can get, as long as you can get over the 3. Like, I got a friend who's like, I don't want to cross 0 with the teaser. I'm like, why not? You're trying to get key points. So if you get a 1 and you can get it +5 and it's over 3 and 4, nothing wrong with doing that. Dallas should be a 7-point favorite if Prescott plays. They're only laying 2.5. So instead of laying 1, you're going to get 3.5 or 4, 4.5, 5. With a team that dominates the other, there you go. By the way, this is the lucky sweatshirt I've been wearing for 8 weeks, and I've been hammering everything. So anyway, that's the pick. Again, the special will be always in effect. $250, you get everything through the Super Bowl, all the college bowl games, NFL the last couple of weeks, and all the playoffs for the $250 price. Great deal when it's normally $100 a week for the pros and $75 for collar. It was $135 for both. So very much there. But anyway, so if you want to do that, please feel free. Just buy the package, buy the NFL for $250 the monthly, and then I give you the password for the overall. It's just easier that way than trying to change everything and set up things on there. So that's the way to go. But anyway, I've been red hot. You can see it. Just go to my history, and I basically just, you know, you can see what I've been doing. Like I said, later in the year, you get, like now, I know Frisco and the Rams. If Frisco is healthy, that'd be a lock over the Rams. With all the injuries, it's hard to, you know, that's one of the things why I don't lock a game. I love the 49ers, but the injuries, so you got to be careful. So I do have at least one lock going and a few other strong ones, but as I said, as you get more into it, you know the team now. Buffalo's better. Okay. Tampa's scoring a ton, and you know Detroit's on their third-string quarterback. New Orleans is playing gangbusters, and Pitt's injured, and Baltimore looks good with Jackson, and Cleveland's Cleveland, and Dallas is still choking away. Philly's got injuries, and then Seattle, Kansas City, you can trust. The Bears you see just aren't that good, and then Green Bay, Minnesota. So you basically know the teams. You know, really what you want is, who do I trust? Who can I trust? Can I trust, you know, San Diego to beat Oakland? Can I trust Denver to beat Detroit? Can I trust New England to beat Buffalo? And that's where it's coach, quarterback, defense. And so that's what you're really, but early in the year, and only because there's so much changes. There's 7, 8 new coaches every year. You got all these new quarterbacks who've never played, and you can't just walk into it. So you got the new coaches, the new quarterbacks like Nick Foles switching teams, learning a new system. He's good at Philadelphia. Is he going to be good at Jacksonville's system? Gardner Minshew comes in. Lamar Jackson becomes something, So now I got Mahomes. I know Rodgers. I know Breeze. I know Brady. I know those teams. Now it's Kirk Cousins. He's that many. How's he going to do? So there's too much unknown the first 5-6 weeks with all these changes. Now as they settle in, now Mahomes, now you got good trends on him. Rodgers has been there. 49ers, Garoppolo, their coach. Now you're starting, they look like a real strong. I can bet on them. And that's really what you're looking for, is you're just looking, you understand the teams more, I know New England at home is going to beat Buffalo. I know that. I got Brady. I got Belichick. That's why I got him. Here's where you make money on him. Buffalo's good. Josh Allen, just not. He's not Mahomes. And, and their defense, very strong defense. I love Buffalo's defense. They're a good under team, but against New England, Brady will find a way to beat you. The spread is only 6.5. You're laying nothing. It's winning the game. That's what you're looking at. And that's why I'm much more successful now this time of year versus the first 4 weeks where I'm trying to figure out, what's San Francisco? Are they any good? They beat the Rams, but Gurley didn't play. So you're trying to get all that out, and now you have it. And I know what I'm getting with Seattle, Arizona, a new quarterback. You're trying to learn them, but I do know their defense sucks. So that's what I like with Russell Wilson. So anyway, there you go. It's week 16. Keep your eye on the playoffs. Teams really get elevated for the playoff push. They all want the 1 and 2 seed. They all want the bye. They all want to play at home. This is football, not baseball or any other sport. It's very, very important to get the home game and the bye. So you will get very strong effort from those teams, especially at home. New England, Seattle, San Francisco. You'll get incredible effort at home with them. I doubt any of those will lose. Where, you got to be careful on the Pitts and the Tennessees and, so Houston, some of those teams going on the road, those are the ones that get upset. And they're not very good teams anyway because they've only won, like Pitts. They won 8 games, so they're not that good anyway, just because they need it for the playoffs. So anyway, good luck. Happy holidays. www.teaserking.com. $250 buys you the rest of the year, all the bowls, the playoffs in college, the last 2 weeks of the regular year, and all the playoffs all the way through the Super Bowl. I give you one password, and you use it each week. All right, everybody. Well, good luck, and I hope everybody's feeling well and has a great holiday season. Take care. Good luck.